Picture this.
You're driving down the I-405 with your buddy Charles Darwin, and you pass him the aux cord. Instead of playing his favorite song, Do the Evolution by Pearl Jam like normal, he pauses and proclaims, as neither the enjoyment nor the capacity of producing musical notes are faculties of the least direct use to man, they must be ranked among the most mysterious with which he is endowed.
Darwin expressed this confusion in his book, The Descent of Man, and rightfully so. Humans' affinity for music appears to have no evolutionary benefit, unlike a craving for a nice, juicy steak. Our love for melodies and harmonies is so unique that even tamarins and marmosets, some of our close primate cousins, prefer silence over music. A key difference between monkey and human brains is that monkeys have a much more limited capacity to retain auditory information, relying on sound solely for survival. Unlike monkeys, humans use music as expression, which requires a much more complex cognition pathway. Neuroimaging studies of the human brain have revealed this complexity. Cognition pathways that begin in the auditory cortex with an auditory input proceed out in a hierarchical manner to temporal and frontal lobes and back again, to central regions like the striatum. When processing musical rhythm, the auditory and premotor cortices communicate, which makes us want to boogie, to songs like the Macarena. But since we're all Homo sapiens here, why do some of us jam out to Tchaikovsky and others to Tupac? Let's go to Bob the Brain for some help.
The body's reward system, or mesolimbic system, includes the striatal region of the brain, which is interconnected with the auditory cortex via the hierarchical functional loops. Studies have associated the nucleus accumbens, or NACC, which is in the striatum, with making predictions. It calculates differences between its predictions and the outcomes. The more correct the prediction, the more dopamine is released by dopaminergic neurons. Current science suggests that the superior temporal gyri, or STG, contain musical templates accumulated throughout a listener's life. When listening to music, the NACC interacts with auditory cortices in the STG. The NACC predicts subsequent musical phrases using statistical learning based on musical templates in the STG, releasing dopamine as the predictions come true. That's so dope! This also reveals why familiar music is more pleasurable. The NACC has more relevant musical templates to reference. This image illustrates dopamine release in the striatal region when subjects listen to familiar music. So, although Mozart may not make babies smarter, it will make them enjoy the symphony.
During the 2012 Olympics, the song Call Me Maybe became known worldwide, creeping into people's STGs globally. I have been playing the song throughout the video, and your NACC will likely trigger dopamine release. Additionally, you will likely have the song stuck in your head all day. But a study found that even if you only imagine music, your NACC and STG interact in the same way as if you were actually listening to the song. So, I hope you have a dope rest of your day. Thanks for watching.